Have you wanted to have a garden and feed your family fresh food, but you felt like it was just too expensive? Everything costs so much more these days than it used to, and it's hard to find ways to save money while gardening. Follow along today. I'm going to share some tips with you that have helped me stay within my budget and still have a great harvest.
Stick around. What do all these things have in common? They're ways I've gardened without spending a lot of money. A great place to start saving money is with seeds and seed starting. Seeds can be expensive. I got this packet of Romano beans for $2.49, and I think that was last year, so they're probably $2.59, $2.79 this year. I try to buy them when they're on sale, buy one, get one free, or buy one, get one half off, and that's how I start my vegetable garden with seeds. A lot of times I can go to Dollar Tree and get seeds for 4 packets for $1.25. That's where these summer squash came from. I also got some flower seeds as well as some green bean seeds at Dollar Tree. So don't overlook places like Dollar Tree for seed starting. Seed starting trays and pots can be expensive and it can add up quickly. These little seed starting pots can be a little bit cost prohibitive. I don't use them often. The way I start most of my seeds is in milk jugs or water containers. I cut them open, I drill some holes in the bottom for drainage, and I typically plant about 9 seeds in each milk jug. I seal them up, I put them outside, and let them grow when they're ready to grow. They get a little bit later start than if I started them with grow lights, but they produce. These Blue Hubbard squash were planted around the 5th of May, which is a little bit later than I usually start. I usually start in February, March. But I planted these to act as a trap crop to catch squash bugs. I planted 9 seeds, and I got 9 seedlings. So saved some money on pots there. You can also use red solo cups and plant just about anything in those. They're nice and deep. I drill some drainage holes. I put a couple of seeds in and see what comes up. I use red solo cups for up potting as well. So seedlings that I'm transplanting out of the milk jugs go into red solo cups. You can use just about any container or reuse containers and save money. Here's a sour cream container, drilled some holes in the bottom, and I've got a little pot for some seedlings. This milk jug had 9 tomato seedlings in it. Those were up potted to red solo cups, and you see them right here. They grew really well. They're nice and lush, and I'll get a great tomato production out of them and feed my family for less money than I have if I had started with seed trays and grow lights. Here's another example of seeds started in a milk jug. This was leaf lettuce. Haven't gotten them planted yet. They need to get transplanted out, but they've grown really lush and full. So I know I'll get a good lettuce harvest out of these. If you've got kids, it's a sure bet that you go through potatoes. Dig around in your pantry, find some that look like this with some eyes and some sprouts coming off of them, or go to the grocery store and buy some organic potatoes that haven't been treated with a growth retardant, and they'll form eyes. You can plant them in some soil, and you can harvest some potatoes to feed your family without spending a lot of money. Remember those potatoes that I said you could stick in some soil, in a pot or in the ground? You can also grow them in a cardboard box. These potatoes became this plant, and I'll get a nice healthy harvest of potatoes out of this. This little bag of kidney beans that I bought at the grocery store, I took about 30 of the bean seeds out of it, planted them, and now I've got this growing in my garden. It's an easy way to save money. Spices are ridiculously expensive, so you can start spices from seed. I do it in my milk jugs, or I do it with garlic. And what I do with garlic is I buy a nice healthy bulb of garlic, try to get organic so it's not been treated with any kind of growth retardant. I separate the cloves and plant them in usually November. They come up and they're ready for harvest in June in my zone, which is 8B in the Pacific Northwest. This particular bulb has 9 garlic cloves in it, so I'll get 9 plants, each with anywhere from 6 to 9 bulbs. I dehydrate those, I grind them, and I make my own garlic salt and garlic powder. It's a great money-saving idea, doesn't take a lot of space, just takes time. Tools for gardening can be cost prohibitive. This is one of my favorite pair of trimmers. I got them as a gift. They're by Felco, and they're nice and sharp, they cut beautifully, and they fit my hand well. I probably wouldn't have bought them for myself because they're expensive, but someone gave them to me as a birthday gift and I treasure them. Before I had those, I used simple scissors from the Dollar Tree. They won't cut heavy stalks, they won't cut through brush, but they will trim and prune tomato plants, pepper plants, or anything in my garden. It's a great way to save money, get started without spending a lot for expensive tools. One of the worst feelings in the world is to plant your seedlings out in the garden and you wake up the next day, rush out because you're sure that magically overnight they've grown inches and now they're producing vegetables, and you find the birds have stripped you clean. There's no seeds, no seedlings, nothing coming up through the soil. You can buy more expensive row covers and hoop systems, but that costs a pretty good amount of money, and it may not be in your budget. What I do is I go to the Dollar Tree, I buy these wire waste baskets, and when I plant my seedlings, I put these over the top of it, and that helps keep the birds out. I don't spend a lot of money on row cover, and I reuse these year after year. If you want to have a garden, but you've told yourself it's just too expensive to garden, look for ways to cut your costs. They're out there. Go to the seed exchange at your local library. Get seeds from a friend. Share a packet of seeds that you buy at the dollar store. Save seeds. There are ways to save money on seeds. Once you get them in some soil, give them a little bit of love, they'll nourish and provide your family with fresh food for months to come.
Those are just a few money-saving ideas. What have you tried? Drop a comment, share some tips for everyone else, and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Thanks so much for stopping by the Hippie Chick Homestead. Take care, y'all.